society groups and the general public, particularly persons living with HIV and AIDS, have expressed grave concern over what appears to be the inaction on the part of government in expediting the release of some donated medical supplies. Further delay in clearing the consignment at the port would be of dire consequence for persons living with HIV and could potentially derail years of progress made in managing the infections. Already, some persons living with HIV are bearing the brunt of inadequate supply of the medication and are beginning to raise alarm about the looming dangers if the medicines are not cleared and secured on time. Joining me via Zoom is President of Network of Persons Living with HIV and AIDS, Elsie Ayer, also President of the Ghana HIV/AIDS Network, Ernest Amwabing Otsen, and the PR of the Health Ministry. Let's start with you, Elsie. You could paint a picture of how this shortage in supply is already affecting your members and how this delay could probably worsen the situation that we have at hand.
Thank you very much for this question and for having me on the program. Yes, we know that the antiretrovirals, they are a source of hope. And that is where we know we keep healthy, we keep strong, and we can do everything we need. And we know that once we stop taking our antiretrovirals, the virus would bounce back. And if we are lucky, we would be able to, overcome it by getting back on track, taking our medications. Otherwise, then we would build resistance to the medication. What we have now is very good, and that is what we want to keep so that we'll stay healthy and we wouldn't transmit HIV to anybody else because we are virally suppressed.
All right. So as we speak now, for how many days will it take you if these medications don't come that you start to show signs of resistance to medicine?
I'm not going to use myself as an example.
No, not yourself.
As an experiment.
Not yourself. Yeah.
It's an experiment. But I don't know. But we've known people to default for one reason or the other to stop taking their medications for months, and then they come back in a bad way. It depends on the state in which you are, how virally suppressed you are before you stop taking the medication. But we know, and it has been documented scientifically, that once we stop taking our medication, the virus, which is hidden in the tissues, not in the blood, but in the tissues, bounce back. I don't know how they bounce back with so much force, so much vim, that they completely overcome the immune system. And that is what we don't want to get to.
Okay.
Because that is when we get to the AIDS stage.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me bring in here Amwabing Otsen, because he's been speaking on this. Now, clearing these medical supplies, shouldn't it be such a critical thing for a government that is so concerned about the health of its people, such that we will not have this case at hand?
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity and good evening to your viewers. Yes, indeed, health is a very critical aspect of our lives, and we indeed expect government to take our health matters quite seriously. But it so happens that we are beginning to observe that does not seem to be the situation in this country. And so we find ourselves in a situation where we have these commodities locked up at the ports, and we've been asking government when these things are going to be released. Over and over again, there have been promises, and these promises have not been fulfilled, and we find it very worrying.
Interesting. Now, we are aware that you were in a meeting with the GRA, because this is about clearing the supplies from the port. What has the GRA been telling you in this meeting?
Well, the new acting Commissioner General actually paid us a visit in our offices before the press conference. And she indicated that she is a new Commissioner General, and the issue was coming to her attention for the very first time. And so she was committing herself to ensuring that the communities are cleared within 14 days. But then we indicated to her that 14 days were just too much, These commodities have already been at the ports. Some have been there for close to a year now. So 14 days was going to be too much. And fortunately, we have now seen the statement from the Minister of Health, which says that by Friday, April 12th, they are going to get the commodity cleared.
All right. I'm grateful to you, Mr. Otting, for joining us here with your thought. Now, let's share with you the statement from the Health Ministry in relation to whether or not these supplies will be cleared. Now, the ministry says, we refer to the media report on the above subject, that's delays in the clearing of Ministry of Health, Global Fund, supported medicines and other commodities from the Tema Port. So what is the ministry saying here? The ministry says, looking at what is happening as part of ongoing support by the Global Fund to the government of Ghana, the Ministry of Health in the period between August 2023 and February 2024 received 435 containers at the Tema Port containing anti-HIV, TB and malaria medicines and mosquito nets for distribution across the country. So now we know the exact number of containers that are locked up at the Tema Port, over 400 of them. It says, out of the 435 containers, Ministry of Health successfully and expeditiously cleared some 253 from the port through the support of government, with 182 containers remaining. So they clarify a bit further that we only have over 100 containers there. It says the management of Ministry of Health has since initiated a process of extensive engagement with the management of Ghana Revenue Authority and Customs, Excise and Preventive Services, SEPS, led by the Commissioner General, Ms. Julie Asiam, and officials of Ministry of Finance, country coordinating mechanisms of the Global Fund to fight HIV and AIDS, TB and malaria, and the COVID-19 response mechanism aimed at securing the expeditious clearing of the remaining 182 containers and forestalling future delays in the clearing of MOA, and that's the Ministry of Health, Medicines and Other Commodities. Now, the statement again says, it is noteworthy that the engagement have led to the development of a robust roadmap which clearly provides impetus to the immediate next steps and way forward for collaboration and cooperation between the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Finance, GRA and stakeholders moving forward in this regard. It says, by this press release, we wish to inform and assure stakeholders and the general public that the Ministry of Health has made significant progress in the process of clearing the remaining 182 containers at the port containing the anti-HIV, TB, and malaria medicines and mosquito nets by Friday, 12th April 2024. They give specific date there, Friday, 12th April. Now, it says that, furthermore, we wish to reassure our stakeholders and the general public that the challenges associated with the clearing of Ministry of Health, medicines, and other commodities from the Tema Port and other point of entry have been conclusively and completely resolved by the government. So that's the assurance that the government is giving us. Let's see how this goes.